Hello again and welcome back to another video where I talk about something to do with running. Today we're going to be talking about the benefits of taking a week off of running. So we're talking about running but really not running. Let's get into it. Hi guys, thanks for sitting through the intro. Now, I did come across an article in Very Well Fit, and the article is titled Benefits of Taking a Week Off from Working Out. And wouldn't you know it, this is one of those things that is easier said than done. Now look, maybe if you're just getting started with running and you're not really into it, you haven't developed it into a habit, you might be thinking, no, I'm calling BS on that. It is easy to take a week off. But on the other hand, if you have been running for a while, or you've been racing and you've been seeing these gains, or you're just getting that endorphin buzz from getting out the door every day, then you know what I'm talking about. You know that it is more difficult to say it than to actually do it. That is, of course, unless you wait too long and you are forced to take that time off. Then you still won't like it, but you know, necessity will make you do it. So the idea of taking a week off from working out, from running, is to not get to that point where you have to. So we all know that exercise is, fairly important, right? It's fairly important to leading a good and healthy life. We're probably going to have a longer life if we exercise. I think we can all get behind that notion. And it has lots of benefits, It's going to build endurance, it's going to build strength, and perhaps you could lose weight if that's one of your goals. But there is probably going to come a time where you are going to have to stop for just a little bit. And it can mess with you mentally when you realize that you really should take some time off. And yet you want to keep going because you like the gains that you've seen. You like the weight that you've lost. You like how strong you are. So there are a few different reasons as to why you should probably consider taking a break from running or working out. But really, I think in this video, I'm going to focus on running because that's generally what I do as my primary activity. So there's a few reasons why I may want to stop running. And the first, I guess, is illness, right? If you're sick, it's just no fun to go out for a run. And I know a lot of you, right? I know a lot of you, myself included, we kind of push through those minor illnesses and we still go for a run. We still log those miles. But if any minor time that calls for a break, that is one of them. Don't feel bad about taking a couple of days off, a week off when you're sick. But if you just thought to yourself, Matt, you know what? I was sick a couple of weeks ago and I had to take a couple of days off. Well, I gotcha, because that is not a break. A forced break is not a break. If you're sick and you decide to take a few days off, that is not the same as deciding to take a few days off because you've been working out so long, or you've been working out so hard. I know I got a couple of you. Also, a workout break is different from a rest day. You can't just schedule 1 or 2 rest days a week and then hammer it the other 5 or 6 days a week, and on those rest days say that you took a break. It's not a break. A rest day is included in your routine. A workout break is an intentional respite or time away from your regular routine. Now, there are lots of good reasons to take a workout break. Remember, for most of us, we are not getting paid to be athletes, right? We choose to be athletes in our spare time, right? We have jobs, we have family, we have other priorities. So you might decide to take a break from working out because you're tired, because you're busy, because of those other priorities. I know we just came through the holiday season. That's a perfect time to take that workout break. Look, if you missed that time, if you missed taking time off throughout the holidays, I'm sorry, but there'll be another holiday just around the corner. Now, this next thing is pretty hard to tell, but maybe you're not just tired and busy, or maybe you are, but maybe also you're in the danger zone of approaching overtraining. That's definitely a good time to take a break. Or perhaps you're actually just getting out of your normal routine because you're going on holiday somewhere. That's also a good time to take a break. Though on the other hand, I would never consider taking a break when I'm going on holiday because I like to run in new places. Although saying that, that's not always the case, because recently, well, not really recently, but I had a really difficult time coming back to fitness after Berlin, because I ran Berlin and then I was, feeling down because of the marathon, not like mentally down, just like physically down. And then I got sick and it took me months to bounce back. And then I went on holiday and I decided that was going to be the perfect time to take a break from running, but also because I wasn't going anywhere fun. I was going on a cruise and I knew that I'd only have the chance to run on a treadmill. It seemed like a perfect time to take a break. Anyway, totally lost my train of thought, giving you that silly story about my running life. Anyway, I guess if you have decided to take a break, I don't want you to worry about losing fitness during that break. I think maybe if you've had a lot of experience, maybe that's easier to accept, because when you're a new runner and you've really you've built up your endurance, you're running more, your fitness is just going through the roof, you're getting faster, you're getting stronger, you're seeing all these gains. It's very difficult to say, I'm going to take a week off, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're just going to fall back and lose all that fitness. Well, the good thing is you're not. There have been studies on soccer players that have shown that 3 to 6 weeks of inactivity did not have any effect on their aerobic capacity or their muscle strength. That's a pretty good finding. That's a finding that I can get behind. And of course, soccer players, they run a lot during a match, but they're as good as runners. Now, you should also know that extreme extremely fit exercisers may see a rapid drop in fitness during those first 3 weeks before it kind of tapers off. But really, it takes about 2 months of inactivity to lose the gains that you've made exercising. Now, if you are still concerned about what you're going to lose by taking a week off of running, and I mean things like fitness levels, it's important to like turn that around and think about what you might lose if you don't take a week off from running. Now, medical experts provide us with 2 different terms for athletes that do too much. The first one is overreaching. That's when your training becomes excessive and your performance starts to lag. Then we have overtraining. Of course, you've heard of overtraining before. I mean, I think I've said it twice in this video already. But overtraining lasts longer and has more serious performance setbacks than overreaching. There can also be more severe symptoms like hormonal changes, depression, fatigue, systematic inflammation. Overtraining isn't a good thing. So if that's the alternative to taking a week off, I think we should welcome that week off when we feel we need it. So I tell you, I think the real difficult thing is actually realizing that we need it, because it's easy to just kind of like make excuses and justify it away. Now, you are at a bit of a setback from any other exerciser because you are a runner. You are an endurance athlete. And endurance athletes are at a particularly high risk of overreaching and overtraining. That endurance mindset that we get from training for so long is the same thing with, us runners, cyclists, triathletes, because that mindset encourages us to put in more and more hours of effort so we can see bigger gains. But at a certain point, our performance starts to suffer. That's when we possibly get to the overtraining stage. Now, some researchers call it paradoxical deconditioning syndrome, which I like that. I like how it sounds, but honestly, paradoxical deconditioning syndrome, bit of a mouthful. Overtraining kind of says what we need it to say. Now, the benefits of taking a break or a week or so off from running, they're pretty big. Like, it's going to allow you to maybe face some big challenges at work. Maybe if you're going on holiday with a family, you want to give them your full attention. And moreover, it's going to help you restore balance. Some of us can possibly get a little too tied up with our actual running. And this is particularly true if you've been training for a race, right? It's important to have a work-life balance, and it's also important to have a workout-life balance. And that is going to vary from one person to the next. So you really can't look at your mate and say, well, they haven't taken a week off, so why do I have to take a week off? No, it's an individual thing. Just look inside. Do you need to take some time off? Listen to those internal cues, it's astoundingly more difficult than just saying that. Now, ultimately, overtraining or, overreaching or even getting towards overreaching, it arises from an imbalance in our training, right? Too many workouts, not enough recovery. But the best thing, this is what I really like to see, because I do like getting some activity in, even when I'm not running. But the American College of Sports Medicine recommends rest and very light training as therapy for getting over overtraining. So even if you're tired, you're tired of running, you haven't been seeing performance gains, rest for a little bit. But then you don't have to jump back into running. Maybe you can do something else that isn't running but is still moving around, maybe going for a walk. And I use the elliptical fairly often, and when I'm on the elliptical, my heart rate is super low. All I'm doing is moving my legs. It's actually where I catch up on YouTube videos that I need to watch without feeling like a slug by sitting on the sofa and just watching. If I'm on the elliptical, I'm kind of doing something productive as well. Now, I just realized that all of you are actually watching a YouTube video right now, so I'm not trying to shame you into getting on the elliptical while you're watching. You do you. So there are a couple of signs that you may recognize when you need to take a break, and they include dreading a workout. Are you overly fatigued or physically exhausted? Has your performance been dropping? Do you have soreness that just won't go away? Are you feeling unmotivated or worse, bored? I'm not sure about that, because feeling unmotivated isn't a reason to not go out. I tend to not feel motivated at first thing in the morning when I go out for a run, but I use discipline and the motivation comes after. And are you seeing a lack of progress in your workouts? Look, and those aren't hard and fast. Just because you have one or a few of them doesn't mean that you need to take that time off, but it might be worth thinking about. And if you're wondering who actually does this, well, we have to look at the professional athletes, or at least seasoned athletes, because they will typically take a week off after every 8 to 12 weeks of training, just so they can check in with themselves, recover from the hard work, and then start to build up again. So now I want to hear from you. When was the last time that you took a break off of running or working out or whatever your sport is? Drop a comment and let me know. And if you do let me know when you took some time off from running, let me know how long it was. So for now, it's Matt B. This has been a video on taking time off from running, or the necessity of taking time off from running so you don't get in trouble with overtraining. That's a long title. Should probably whittle that down for the thumbnail. Anyway, be kind, be happy, run well. See you in a couple of days.
What you want, don't ever call me a side. You know what I want, girl, I'm trying to make you mine.